Hey folks, I'm Zeeland, and today I'm going to show you how to play the acoustic guitar for Coldplay's Champion of the World, just like it's played by Chris in the Live in Jordan concert. The main riff that I just showed you, we'll definitely get back to that later. But first of all, we have to talk about some general things about the song. Number one, as with most Coldplay songs, the acoustic guitar on the track is not in standard tuning. To get the original tuning though, you don't have to change much. All you need to do is tune your G string down to an E. So let's do it. You'll notice that if you play what would usually be an E minor shaped chord, you'll now get this neutral E5 chord. Consisting of nothing but the root note and the fifth. This really opens up the chords and is the main reason why we can play the lead guitar riff while at the same time still strumming the chords. Now you want to place a capo on the 3rd fret. Readjust the tuning. And there you go. What's cool about this song is that, except for that one middle section, the whole song revolves around nothing but the same 3 chords. G major, D major, and C major. Also, the strumming pattern is super simple. What you can do, just like I did in my play along video for the song, is play the song in constant downstrokes. If you've watched the Live in Jordan concert to figure out how Chris plays the song, you might have noticed that Chris does a lot of variations of these 3 chords. Here are the most prevalent ones. So for the G major, what Chris will typically do is play this chord. And instead of playing the D major like this, oftentimes he will play it like this. And instead of playing the C major like this, oftentimes he will play it like this. For the middle section that I mentioned earlier, you're going to need a couple of other chords. First of all, this C major variation. Played real high up on the neck. This is how I played that chord in my play-along video from a year ago, but these days I kind of prefer to play it like this. It's a lot easier to play, and it also sounds a lot richer because of that open low C. I do think that my original chord is exactly the one that Chris uses. You're also going to need an E minor played like this. And the rest is chords that I've already showed you. I'm gonna go ahead and play this part once in its entirety, just so you can get an idea of where which chords are used. You might have noticed that towards the end there, I was sort of playing around with the rhythm. I encourage you to do the same if you're a more advanced player. You don't have to play the entire song in constant downstrokes. You can also play a more lively rhythm with alternating down and up strokes, and even add some highlights and accents, just like this. Instead of constant downstrokes, you can also do constant alternating down and up strokes. Now I'll finally show you how to play that signature riff on the acoustic guitar. This part's pretty interesting, because what you do is you take the acoustic rhythm guitar with its 3 basic chords and you combine it with the lead guitar riff. So we're still keeping the G major, D major, and C major, and simply add a few notes so it sounds like we're playing the lead guitar at the same time. Let's take this riff and slow it down a lot so you can get a better sense of where these extra notes come in. So for the G major, you constantly alternate between these 2 chords. A G sus4 and the regular G major. When you play the D major, you move it up to this chord, and back to the D major. And you use this tiny chord as a transition to the C major. Which you move up to this chord for 1 stroke, and then move it back down. What's also tricky about this part is that the guitar doesn't come in on the 1 count of that bar, but rather on the 4 and count of the previous bar. Let me show you what I mean. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rhythmically, you can totally play this part in constant downstrokes, no problem, but I personally recommend mixing it up a little bit. For example, by highlighting the first few extra notes that come in, just like this. Basically playing an upstroke whenever you play this one. Up, down. Alright, for last, I'm going to show you how to play that little bit at the end. Again, same three basic chords as before. G major, D major, C major. But similar to the main riff that I just showed you, you want to add a few extra notes between the chords. I'll show you the riff and you'll see what I mean. In this part in particular, you'll notice that oftentimes Chris switches between the D major and the C major on the 4 and not on the straight beat. There it is. That's also something you can do all throughout the song, actually. Basically, for this little outro riff, you just need to know this little scale. All played on the D string, and this is your starting position. Second position. Third position. And you move it down again. Alright, that's the end. I hope this video has helped you in trying to figure out what's going on in this song. If you have any additional questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. Stay safe, everybody. I'll see you on the next tutorial.